What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me again this week. It's T-SQL Tuesday week. If you're unfamiliar with T-SQL Tuesday, it's a... What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me again this week. It's T-SQL Tuesday number 200, and I am excited to share with you my favorite SQL Server 2026 feature. So, my favorite new feature in SQL Server 2026 is the fully automatic query tuning. Way back in SQL Server 2017, Microsoft released automatic query performance tuning. It was a great concept and it worked pretty well at the time, but technology has advanced. So my favorite part about the fully automatic tuning in SQL Server 2026 is that it is on by default. What this tells me is that Microsoft is so confident of the algorithm that it's using and the performance that you get, that they want to ship it and have it enabled for everybody. And I think that's a great thing, because these databases are just going to seem like they're fast. Another great feature of the fully automatic tuning is where before SQL Server would only optimize for CPU, try to minimize CPU by switching out different plans. Now you have this new flag for optimizing for memory. So if you're dealing with the server, right, that's and this isn't going to be applicable in all shops, but if you want to minimize for memory instead, you can do that. Also really cool is the new optimized cardinality estimator, which now we have, we got the legacy, we got the new, and now we have the optimized cardinality estimator. But using the statistics and how the cardinality is kind of calculated is a little bit more streamlined, and the fully automatic tuning can kind of switch between those three different cardinality estimating models to give you better tuning performance. Another part of the fully automatic tuning that I'm excited about is SQL Server's recognition of time of day and just historical server load and what queries are running. If it knows that you're running a query that historically runs during a time where there's a kind of a lull on the server, the SQL Server will actually allow it to choose a plan that's maybe less efficient for hardware usage, but will ultimately give you a faster query, right? It kind of knows that it can boost that query performance by utilizing a lot of the processing power on the server without needing to conserve itself completely for anything else that might want to run. Finally, sensors have completely taken over the world, and SQL Server does not ignore that at all. Things like temperature sensors on CPUs and motherboards, which historically, you could access that. SQL Server is now incorporating into the hardware itself to be able to dynamically overclock both CPUs and memory by kind of working with those temperature sensors, being able to kick up the processing power when needed, when applicable, and then dialing it back down once it kind of gets out of any unsafe range. So if you don't have auto updates on your server, I highly recommend you upgrade to SQL Server 2026 purely for this feature. It's going to just seem like your server runs faster out of the box, and it's going to, you're going to spend less time worrying about performance tuning these little types of queries, the redundant queries, right, that we've always hated having to work with, and instead, right, we can focus on the more difficult and interesting performance problems, right, which with all this great technology, we as DBAs and developers can still write pretty bad queries that even all of the fully automatic tuning in SQL Server can't handle. So thanks for joining me again this week. I hope to see you next week, same time, same place. And if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you then. Thanks. What happened? Why does my head hurt?